Hey, so today we're going to talk about Love and Hip Hop New York season 3, episode 7. It starts off with Yandy and Mandisi. They meeting up in the streets. I don't know why they meeting up in the damn streets because, I don't know, you would think they were a couple so they could talk about the situation at home. And they didn't meet up the same night of the fight, so I don't get it. But anyway, they meet up in the street, and she wants to know what's up about him putting his hands on her family member, creepy cousin Maurice. And I'm sitting there like, are you serious? Like, like, where do your loyalty lie, Yandy? Like, you've been with Mandisi for 6 years. You've been knowing your cousin, creepy cousin, for 3 months. Where do your loyalty lie? I understand you say he's your family, but you've only been knowing this dude for 3 months. And the pictures were inappropriate. So I don't understand where she was upset with Mandisi. And Mandisi, might not be the smartest dude in the bunch, but he was making some valid points. Like, what was I supposed to do? Let this dude hit me first? This dude jumped up, muscle bound. What was I supposed to do? Get knocked out first? And I was like, no, you wasn't supposed to get knocked out first. Fuck what she talking about. But anyway, so yeah, they was arguing, and she was like, you were supposed to let me handle it. And I'm like, rewind back to the last episode, because he told you to handle it. You said no. That's your cousin. He told you to deal with it before he deals with it, so you should have dealt with that shit, Yandy. Sorry. But, yeah, that was just some way out shit, so, I don't know. I just don't think this is a real relationship, and if it is, it's some bullshit. They don't need to be together. Moving on to L'Oreal and a hood rat winner, industry pussy winner, hoe ass winner, trying to think of some more ratchet ass names for winter. But, I don't like her. There's nothing she can do for the rest of this episode that will make me like her. I don't like her. I don't just like bitches that just want to their career is to be a hoe. Anyway, they're, talking about, first they start talking about, she didn't get with guys and all this kind of stuff. She was going to hook her up with these guys. And she was like, after a couple of days, then you need to, start asking him for stuff. And I was like, who does that? Besides professional hood rats, professional hoes, professional call girls, experts, who does that? And even L'Oreal was like, we have two different styles. Like, I go with people for love, she go with people for money. And I'm sitting there like, how the fuck is y'all friends? When did y'all start being friends? I don't know. But, yeah, I don't like Winter. So then they start talking about this damn book. She was asking her was she scared about the book, and she was like, no, and all this stuff. So I was just like, no, they started talking about Angela, her leaving Angela or whatever, and she was like, well, that was a good look, I'm glad she left Angela, and all this kind of stuff. And then they started throwing shade on Eve, because they were talking about how she was like, she wanted a lawyer, and she was like, ain't nobody going to marry a lawyer, and you are a female rapper. And she was like, well, look at Eve, and she was like, well, look at her, she's not rapping. Bitch, don't throw no shade at Eve. Eve was a legend in the game, and you were to nobody in the game, so how do you throw shade at Eve? Bitch, come on now. Eve will wrap the shit around you and beat you up at the same damn time. I don't like her. I just really don't like her. Moving on to Rich in the studio, he listening to Erica's song. The song did sound cool. I can't say that. The song did sound cool, but I don't like Erica, and I wouldn't have bought it because it was Erica. Give the song some damn body else, and I might buy the song. But he listened to the song, and Peter Guns walked in, and apparently Peter Guns is his silent partner. So Peter been hearing a lot of stuff about him and Erica, and he just basically like, let this bitch go. Like, she is too much. I don't want to have to explain to DJs that this was your call. I don't want to throw you under the bus because you're my homeboy. That's basically what he was saying. And he's just like, let this bitch go. Give her the song and let her go. And Rich is kind of stuck in a hard place because he put his dick in there. That's basically it. He's sprung. He don't want to just leave her high and dry or whatever. And I can understand that because, you know, you have been pumping her up or whatever, and then all of a sudden because everybody else say leave her, then you have to leave her. But you should have thought about that before you start mixing business with pleasure. That's basically what that was. But I was happy that Peter was like, no. I'd rather lose this money, I'd rather lose everything than deal with this girl and her brand because she crazy and she has a bad reputation. And I was looking at this, and even with another conversation, when I keep going with her, you can tell that she has a bad reputation. You can tell, like, this shit is killing her would have been career. It killed it because everybody see that don't nobody want to work with Erica. So I think that career is just shot. So go back to Marlon, be quiet, take pictures, because ain't nobody going to be here for you, regardless of who you try to work with. Just by this show and everybody saying that nobody want to work with you, it's going to kill Erica's career. And did y'all notice that? It looked like Rich wanted to cry. He kept wiping his face like, are you crying? Like, you too smart. Yes, he's too smart. Anyway, Mendici and Vado, they go shopping. That's his artist, Mendici's artist. And they start talking about the fight. He was telling him about creepy Maurice or whatever, and he was telling him about creepy Maurice, and at the end of it, Vado was just like, you need to apologize only for Yandy's sake. It's not because you sorry or whatever. Just to smooth things over with Yandy. So I just felt like, don't apologize if you don't mean it. Don't apologize for her, because you still not going to like him, and it's always still going to cause conflict. But niggas and pussy, I just don't understand that y'all would do stuff for pussy, and I just feel like y'all will compromise on who you guys are for the sake of a relationship, where this bitch don't even seem like she is really invested in this relationship. So, I don't know. But, I mean, it was some cool advice what Vado was saying, but I just don't think people should apologize to people unless they really mean it. Moving on to Jen and Con. I'm going to move this real fast because I thought their segment was boring. They talk about the shit what happened with Rocky. Rocky tried to make Jen seem like a racist. Jen was like, I'm not a racist because I mess with Con. That don't give you... Because you go with a black dude doesn't mean that you're not a racist or you don't have racist tendencies. Because you could be dating this dude just to be like, I'll date a black dude and then try to dog him out. I don't know. But don't try to make it just because you're dating him if that's why you're not a racist. I don't get that. I mean, even though I don't see her as a racist, but don't use that as an excuse. I'm glad they didn't really show Rocky. Then they start talking about, she was like, well, you know, I just learned to next time know people and all this kind of stuff, and then I'm going to just do Jan the Pen solo stuff and all this stuff, and he started talking about it was his fault because he should have helped her, which I thought was true. Like, why did she have to go all around the damn merry-go bush for you to get hookups when you supposed to be this big producer, rapper, whatever? I don't get it. They start talking about she needed a babysitter, so he was like, okay, I can help you find a babysitter. Well, yada, yada, yada. Then moving on to Rich go visit his mom / manager. Their relationship was a little strange for a mother and son, but hey, they have a little, you can tell they have a cool relationship where they could just talk freely, but it was just too freely too. But yeah, the mama was like, let this bitch go. She needs help. She needs a therapist. She needs something, but let her go. And he like, mom. But, like, everybody is telling you to let this broad go. So you kind of need to look at that, Rich, like, she's not a good investment. She's not good for your reputation. She's not good for your business. None of that kind of stuff. So, anyway, moving on to Cons and Jens. They go find a babysitter. They had the first girl, she said no because her titties was shown. No, the first girl was saying that she know Cons from somewhere. And Cons was looking like, oh, shit. Oh, where she's going to say that she know me from. Then it was the girl with the titties showing. Jen was feeling her because her titties were showing. Then it was a gay dude. Kyle, I don't think was feeling him because he was gay. I don't know if it was because he was gay or it was because a gay man was going to be raping his son while he wasn't there. I don't know. Then she gonna end up picking, I think, the sister-in-law's choice, which I don't think that should be a choice either. Because I'm just saying. Moving on to, sorry if you guys hear that shower, but my nephew's getting ready for school. Moving on to Mendici and Yandy. They go talk to the creepy cousin Maurice at this record store or whatever. I don't even know they still have record stores, but okay. She was telling them that they need to get along. He immediately was like, well, I don't know if I like him. Mendici was like, I don't give a damn if you don't like me. This is about her. This ain't got shit to do with you. And he was like, you know, I got reported across. You took the pictures down, yada, yada, yada. So they end up talking and they end up squashing it. But Mandisi still ain't feeling that fool. That fool still ain't feeling Mandisi. They both just did that shit for show for Yandy. Period. Kaylin and Tahiri, they meet up because Kaylin wants to apologize. For what? For what? This conversation was weird. It shouldn't have happened. She said because she's not like that or whatever. So I give her kudos for apologizing because she's not like that. But like Tahiri said, your beef is not with me. It should be with Joe. I ain't got time for this shit. Like, basically, that's what Tahiri was saying. Like, I don't have time for this shit. Like, Kaylin just young and just needs to get out this situation. I just feel like this is a bad situation for Kaylin. She don't seem like she have any kids. She's very young. I think she needs to get out of the situation with Joe and all his drama ass bullshit because I feel like it's gonna just ruin her. Moving on to Yandy, and she goes talk to Winter at Winter House or whatever, and then they start talking about the book. She was like, you don't feel like somebody's gonna come after you, and she was like, it's not that serious, and she was like, it is that serious. Like, you're breaking a code. Like, you're not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. And Winter is just an industry pussy, so she's just trying to get her name out there, because apparently it wasn't out there when she was being everybody's assistant and stylist or whatever. Then they start talking about, she's telling her she wants her to meet L'Oreal because L'Oreal really doesn't have a mouthpiece to get where she is, so she wants Yandy to work. Yandy was like, okay, if you say that she's cool, I usually don't do this, but if you say she's cool, I'll meet with her. So, which I thought that was cool. I'm just not here for Winter. Every time I speak of Winter, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not here for her. So if I say something to offend anybody about Winter, too damn bad. Sorry, just my opinion. I ain't gotta like her. Anyway, moving on to Rich and Erica, they meet outside on the streets. I guess nobody's in a real relationship that y'all gotta meet on the streets. Like, y'all can't film in the house, y'all can't film in the restaurant. I don't get it, but to film on the streets, on the sidewalks, I'm not feeling it. But anyway, they meet up and he starts talking about contracts and all this kind of stuff, and she's like, you act like I'm gonna run out on you and yada yada yada, and he like, look, I don't usually do business like this. People don't usually come and get a song, get it mastered, get it talking on the video, and we ain't got no papers on them. So I feel him. And she just feel like her pussy that good that she don't need to do all that. So he was like, well, I'm just going to let you go. And she was like, what do you mean? And he was like, you know, I can't do this business and relationship or whatever, so I'd rather just work with you business. She was just basically like, you ain't leaving me. Basically. She was just like, you're not leaving me. You can say what you want to say, but it ain't going down the way you keep saying it's going to go down. Like, you could tell that Erica run that relationship. You could really tell that. But that whole conversation was whack. It wasn't really real, because you're not going to stop messing with this girl. Anyway, the last part of the show was Winter event. Winter had an event. Get down. Come down. Winter had an event to uncover her book. She had a thing to uncover her book covers, or I don't know. But since everybody was there, she decides that she's gonna read a little excerpt of her book about L'Oreal. So L'Oreal was like, okay, for the record, I didn't sleep with her, everybody. So she laughing because she don't know what's in the book. So then all of a sudden, Winter goes in about how she slept with millionaires for free, how Red Cafe said don't work with her. She just started throwing her under the bus and throwing. Even Yandy was like, you just like was telling me when we first walked in how you love this girl. And then all of a sudden, you throwing her under the bus, like telling all her business that you wouldn't want your mama, grandmama, cousins, nobody to hear. And I was like, damn, they must have edited where she was saying some real way out stuff because Yandy was so uncomfortable. L'Oreal was mad. L'Oreal kind of blurted in, but she was just like, you know, this your event, it's not the place, so keep on going. She was like, well, I'm finished. I would have drugged Winter. I'm just gonna be period point blank. I would have drugged her in her own damn event. You wanna throw me under the bus in your event? Bitch, I'm gonna throw you down in your event. Like, you finna see how bad I am and see what you have coming to you, putting people's name in the book. This is only the beginning, but other people are gonna be whooping your ass just like this. That's what I would have told her, period. But yeah, she wasn't apologetic for what she said. This is supposed to be your friend, and the first thing she said was, legally, I didn't have to say anything. She was like, yeah, but I talk to you every damn day. You should have said something. And even when they had the conversation before, when she invited her to the event, you should have told her what was in that book. You was just like, oh, you've been there through some of the things. That's why I mentioned you. But you never told her you was going to write a whole chapter bashing her. So then after that, they talk about it or whatever. And like I said, she wasn't apologetic. So then Yandy, she falls. She was so drunk that she couldn't hold her posture and she falls. I don't think it was because of that. I think she was scared that this girl was going to beat the shit out of her if she jumped out of pocket. So that's why she had to do something kind of diversion to make her not beat her up. And so she said she was too drunk, so she fell. I don't think so. I do like how L'Oreal was like, you know what, I'm not even going to go at her because then I would be just like her. So I do understand that, but I'm sorry, L'Oreal. That's the day that us women would have gave you a pass for whooping another woman's ass. And I don't usually say women should fight or whatever, but some instances, some bitches need to get slapped and put in their place. I don't even think you should whoop their ass. I think a girl needs to somebody just needs to slap the shit out of another girl so she would know, don't play with me no more. And that's just me. Every time I be like, I'm going to fight somebody, I be like, I'm not going to fight nobody, but I will slap the shit out of you so you know I don't play that shit. I will beat you up. I'm not with that breaking my nails, first of all. But I will slap the shit out of you or I got to break a nail. And then if the fight ever just got escalated to some punches, oh well. But Winter would have got slapped the shit out of. She would have got threw on the ground. She would have got drugged on the ground. I don't know. Anyway, that's my review for Love and Hip Hop, Season 3, Episode 7. Make sure you rate, comment, subscribe. Make sure you share my video on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at thaghettoview, THA, not THC.